The best part about being a Mariners fan is you're always disappointed. You just are used to it. And that's kind of the role with Shohei Ohtani and the Mariners this offseason. We all know that the Mariners fans wanted Shohei Ohtani to come to the team, be their next designated hitter, the greatest player of all time in Shohei Ohtani, and then we heard the Mariners were out on him. But now they might just be back in on Shohei Ohtani. Now I know, you read the title, you heard what I just said, and you're like, Colton, come on. Like, don't be an idiot. Obviously, this is all fake. But we got to talk about it. We got to talk about what happened the other night. A Reddit thread that came out, a Twitter thread that then came with it, talking about a notable reporter in Japan saying the Mariners actually met with Shohei Ohtani and they're willing to give him a ton of money. But like I said, as Mariners fans, we're used to being disappointed, so this is nothing new for us. So when it doesn't actually happen, don't come blaming me. Let's just take a look at what happened the other night and what was talked about. And then I want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think this is true? Do you think this is actually happening? Let's take a look. So it all started with this Reddit thread from GatorBait30. He said a report out of Japan by veteran sports columnist Soichi Hayashi Sr., I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, and posted on Yahoo, said that a lucrative one-year deal believed to be estimated at $65 million for the DH's services in 2024 was on the table. So if we were to click the link here and go to this page, you can see that this is the Yahoo author that they're talking about in this Twitter thread. Long story short, it says that he has 1,641 articles here on Yahoo Japan. Now again, as we read a little bit further here, you can start to see why this might have just been a complete farce. According to this Reddit thread, the Mariners were believed to be the final team Ohtani had planned to meet with, waiting preferably until the end of the inaugural winter meetings, with others to be completed first. The reigning MVP seemingly stood by his previous remarks that Seattle, an offseason training location for him and other Japanese players, was a finalist when he was a free agent the first time around, and that he remained, if not grew, his admiration for the city since entering the MLB, as is evident with his off-season routine. We all remember the original race for Shohei Ohtani when the Mariners came up like second or third when he was choosing where to go, and it really sucked. I believe the Mariners were second on his list when it was all said and done, and it looked like an okay deal for the Mariners at first after Ohtani immediately underwent Tommy John and he wasn't that great of a player, but once he came into his own, obviously he became the greatest player on the friggin' planet. So this much is true, and interestingly enough, Ryan Dempster, of all people, former MLB pitcher, mentioned that there was one mystery team in on Ohtani. Now, let's keep in mind here that Ohtani and his agent had specifically said that if any team leaks that they're having a meeting or any of their talks, it's going to be held against said team. Now, theoretically, the Mariners have not leaked a single thing about being in on Ohtani. They haven't. It has not happened. This writer guy for Yahoo Japan may have done it, but it's not the Mariners doing it specifically. So with that being said, it makes sense that there's a mystery team. It's supposed to be shrouded in this cloud of who the hell knows what's going on. So maybe the Mariners are playing by Ohtani's rules. All right, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the inner workings of what's going on with Ohtani's free agency, with whatever the Mariners are doing this offseason. But hey, they've cleared that money. Now, with that being said, Adam Jude talked about how the Mariners have like $20 million to play with this offseason. Ohtani wants more than that, duh. And a one-year deal for Ohtani doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, although I think it's a good idea, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is the Mariners have cut a lot of payroll recently. They have been rumored to be out of the Shohei sweepstakes, and there's a mystery team, and now there's this report saying that the Mariners were the last team that Ohtani's meeting with. His decision's expected by Sunday. His decision is expected within the next couple of days. I still don't really believe these rumors, but it would be interesting if that is the turn of events for the Seattle Mariners this coming offseason. The thread goes on to say that Edgar FaceTimed Ohtani talking about the DH position. Obviously, Edgar was the first primary DH to ever go into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ohtani would be just that. Here's where things get a little weird. The thread says the story was apparently posted and has been taken down as Soto News broke within minutes of the post, though not before 3 photos were grabbed by a user on Japanese Twitter. It appears there was a homage mashup between the grunge-friendly city and the samurai lore in one, Mount Fuji combined with Mount Rainier in another, and the space in a cool Space Needle shot. Okay, alright, sounds good. Why would you take down this news because Juan Soto signed? It doesn't make sense in my opinion, but sure, let's just keep going. Then there's a quote that says, a one-year deal offers Ohtani the flexibility he covets, financial security, and the shortest flight route from the continental U.S. to his homeland with 12 round-trip business class tickets included as a good faith gesture. Similar sweetness were added into former New York Yankees Hideki Matsui's deal. Seattle currently has 3 airlines operating daily direct flights to Tokyo. Okay, so, I mean, the pictures thing, I don't understand the point of that. I don't. It makes no sense. Who cares? There were mashups of Mount Fuji and Mount Rainier. Okay, whatever. But, I mean, hey, it is the shortest destination from point A to point B from the U.S. to Japan. Okay, cool. And if they're offering him tickets, business class, cool. I mean, he's gonna be making $65 million a year. He doesn't need those tickets, but sure, I'm in, I guess, if that's what it takes. It's a short deal for Ohtani, so if he wants to go out and test the market when he becomes both a hitter and a pitcher again next year, thinking that maybe he'll make more that way, sure, okay. That's what we talked about when we heard he was going to have Tommy John surgery, was that maybe he'd be willing to take a one-year deal as just a pure hitter and then go out and test the open market when he was both, back to being fully healthy to pitch again. I'm not really sure. The article finishes with, a mystery team has been included in nearly every speculative article concerning the best designated hitters' potential landing spots. While the Dodgers, Angels, and Blue Jays have remained in the mix, it was said by Hayashi that only Seattle made a prideful effort to celebrate the designated hitter role and focused instead on health and recovery over any discussion for future pitching notions, noting that Ohtani had already accomplished more as a pitcher than Babe Ruth. That's not wrong. He has accomplished more than Babe Ruth. I don't really think Ohtani cares that the Mariners are, really in on the DH spot, because we've heard recently how the Mariners don't necessarily want a full-time DH. They have always wanted to rotate through ever since Jerry Dipoto came into town. And that's kind of the way the MLB is going as well. They don't want a pure DH because it really limits how they can move guys throughout their lineup, throughout the field as well, and to get guys days off, for example. So I don't know. I mean, yes, again, Edgar Martinez, the DH award is named after him. It makes sense, right? But with that being said, every single team in baseball now has a DH. The universal DH is a thing, which it should have been a long time ago. It's a thing now. I don't necessarily know if Ohtani cares that the Mariners like DHs. Like, why would he care? With that being said, is this a real article? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Like, there's no way to look at this and say this is for sure a thing. I'm still leaning towards no. It just is way too random, way too out there. Could this have happened? Absolutely. Could the Mariners have had a conversation with Shohei Ohtani? They absolutely should have. Could they have been cutting all this payroll to sign him to a one big contract for 1 year? Maybe. I don't know. We'll obviously just have to wait and see. The fact that the Mariners didn't do anything at the winter meetings makes me want to throw up. And the fact that this team is still, so hole-ridden makes me want to throw up. But the fact of the matter is Shohei Ohtani is still out there, and now we're getting all these rumors that, hey, maybe, just maybe, the Mariners had this conversation. We have heard about meetings with all 3 other teams, with the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Blue Jays. The Mariners are the only ones who haven't leaked anything. The Dodgers have done it the worst, as we've talked about, and so, I don't know. I don't really know what the right answer is. I still think he ends up either a Dodger or a Cub at the end of the day. But hey, if Shohei Ohtani becomes a Seattle Mariner in 2024, would that right the ship for Mariners fans? Would they then realize, or would they then say, hey, all is forgiven? I think they might, and that might just be the way that John Stanton tries to save face. With that being said, Jerry Dipoto did lay out kind of the rest of the plans for the offseason for the Seattle Mariners in 2024. We have that video linked on the screen right now. Go ahead and check that one out. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners, I think.